Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here with Silverado today because we are going to play Bunny Detective. We're going to take a look at his color genetics and see if we can figure out what color he's supposed to be. So this is just done by one, knowing a little bit about his parents, two, basically just taking a look at him and knowing what I know. So the first thing you want to look at is the Agouti gene, A series. The A series has three components. You could be Agouti, you could be tan, we call that otter in Rexes, so he's a Rex, and you could be self or solid. So the most dominant is Agouti. If you have one Agouti gene, you are an Agouti, then tan, then self. To be self, you have to have two copies. So the first thing we want to look at is, does he have the same color all over his body, including his belly? Nope, he does not. So he's not self. Okay, he's not a solid. The next thing you want to look for is, does he have otter markings, or does he have multicolored fur? So otter markings would be like a tan color back behind his ear here, or tan around his nose. Hi. Hey, no, you're a good boy. And there's always going to be a white underbelly. Now, he does have the white underbelly. So what we want to look for is the Agouti marks. Agouti is, if you open up his fur, do you see more than one color? Because in a tan rabbit, the colors kind of get separated out. So the tan ends up behind the ears and around the nose. But the actual color on the fur is solid from the tip of the fur to the skin. So we're going to open him up. And what we're looking for is bands of color. So he has bands of color. He's got three. He's kind of got a chestnutty color in the middle. He's got an almost kind of a creamy gray color closer to the skin. And then on top, he is the color you see. So he's kind of a lilac color. So that tells me he's Agouti because he's got the three layers of color. Some Agoutis have 5 layers. He's only got 3. But he's definitely an Agouti. So his first gene is a big A because it's dominant. And I actually happen to know what his second gene is. It's a little a, self. So he does not carry the tan gene at all. And the reason I know that is because his mom is a solid. So his mom is solid black. So she can only pass solid color genes down to him. So he has a big A and a little a. No tan, no otter color here. Okay. Next up is the B series. B series is your base color. Are you brown or are you black? Those are your only choices. Okay. Despite the great variation in all the rabbit colors, there are only 2 base coat colors, brown or black. So black can dilute to blue, which is like a silvery color, and the brown, the chocolate, can dilute to lilac. Well, he is 100% not blue, and he's not black. He's actually lilac, okay? He is a lilac Agouti. We call that actually a lynx, okay? The lilac Agouti is called a lynx. But so he is brown. His base color is brown. And brown is recessive, so he has 2 little B's. If he had a black gene, he would display black. Okay, he would look either black or blue. He doesn't, so he has double brown genes. That means he can only pass brown on to his children. Hi, good boy. He's such a good rabbit. So the next gene is the C series. The C series is my least favorite. It's also the most annoying because it has so many different variations. It's got basically 5. And the C series is what is responsible for removing color. So at the very top of the C series, you have just basic. No color is removed. Then you have things like the 2 chinchillas, the dark and the light. And then you have Himalayan. And finally, you have red-eyed white. Basically, you start removing color. You start by removing the yellow, right? You start pulling the yellow out. And then you just keep going until you have nothing left except a red-eyed white. Now, he has none of that. He has nothing that indicates he might be a chinchilla, and he's certainly not a Himalayan or a red-eyed white. So his C series is a big C. I'm pretty sure it's 2 big C's because I don't think he has any of those. But to be accurate, we have to write this C followed by a blank because we don't actually know if he has, we don't actually know if he's carrying a recessive C gene or not. So we have to write it C blank. Next up is the D series. D series are dilutes. Is it an intense color or a dilute? You only have 2 options here. Either you're intense or you're dilute. So an intense color is black. Its dilute is blue. The intense color is chocolate. Its dilute is lilac. Now, we already said he was lilac. He has 2 dilute genes, which makes him this lighter color. Instead of being a chestnut agouti, he is instead a lynx. Okay, and he's so attractive. Yes, you're a very pretty boy. You're a very pretty boy. So he has 2 little D's because he has no intense coloring. The intense is dominant. If he did, he would not be this light. He would definitely be a chestnut agouti, wouldn't you? Yes. So then we move on to the E series. The E series is the extension series. This controls the movement of black. Okay. Now, the most dominant is steel, where it moves black right to the tips. Okay. Well, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have any black ticking of any kind. So he's definitely not that. The second in that list is just your standard. So steel is the most dominant, but after that is just your standard rabbit with no extension at all. And he has no extension. The other options are Harlequin and Tort. Well, he's obviously not a Harlequin because he doesn't have the black, orange, or kind of a lilac color mixed in. He's not that at all. And he's definitely not a Tort. A Tort is where you have black around the ears and black around the nose because that's the shorter hair. Tort basically forces the black color close to the skin, so you don't see the black except for the shorter areas. Hi, buddy. And he doesn't have any of that. So he's just a big E. For proper identification, I should write it E blank because we don't really know the second gene. I'm pretty sure I know the second gene, but that is what it is for just clarity. Then the other 2 things that we talk about are broken and the Vienna mark. Well, he's not broken. If he had a broken gene, you would see it. So that ends up his broken. He is entirely recessive and broken, no broken gene at all, because the broken gene is actually dominant. So he doesn't have any of that. And then Vienna mark is the thing responsible for blue-eyed whites. It gives you white markings and blue eyes in in some variations. He doesn't have that either. He's not a Vienna carrier. There is no Vienna mark. So he's just normal. So we're not even going to worry about broken or Vienna because he doesn't have any of that. He is indeed just Silverado. He's such a good boy. We love him very much. Anyway, that means his entire genetic code is this. Okay? That is the entire... That is the entirety of his genetic code, and playing genetic detective with your own rabbits can be a lot of fun. So do sit down, go through the genetic components of your colors for your rabbits, and see if you can come up with what your rabbit might pass down. It makes it easier to cross your rabbits and know what you might get when it comes to the babies. So write it down, see if you can figure it out, make a game of it. Because really, genetic color detective is something fun, and it allows you to kind of predict what kind of babies you might have, and I'm going to go put him back in his pen now. That's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.